is on a mission to build a robot out of Legos.
That's right!
Please welcome the table number 1, Zoom!
9 missions in 2.5 minutes. Follow the Zoom team as we compete with 41 other teams to design, build, and program a robot. Get ready for the
First Lego League competition!
This is Kristen.
She's our coach!
My name's Kristen. I'm going to be your coach for this first Lego League team. Hi.
Kristen is an absolutely awesome coach.
Today we're going to go through and we're going to build a practice robot. So like I said, you can learn the pieces and you'll start to learn how to program. All right, here is our kit. What happens is we get a kit of parts with Legos and we're going to build a little robot to go into a challenge. Now what we want to look at is putting the like pieces together.
So I can put like all the wheels.
All the tires go together.
From the look of the Legos, I'm kind of thinking, ooh, maybe it's like a castle or something, because that's what I used to build when I had Legos.
This is a motor.
But then actually, it looks really cool once you set it up.
I usually don't play with Legos, but it's like a whole new world. It's so awesome.
Hey, there's 2 guns. I could see a few robots in there. I could see them.
Now that we have all the pieces separated, let's build our practice robot. Okay. This is called the RCX. This is going to be the brain of your robot. It's the infrared tower. This will go into the computer, and this will send a signal from the computer and tell it what to do into here.
Whoa, my computer doesn't do this.
Yep, you'll have this already programmed for the competition.
We got to figure things out for our own instead of reading them out of textbooks.
Good teamwork.
As a group, we worked and perfected it all together.
Look at the picture. There you go.
Because we're a team.
Yeah, the RCX.
It's really fun because we have to figure it out on our own, and Kristen's really helpful in that sense.
Hey Mike, do you have the wheels?
There you go.
Yay.
Okay. Now that the robot's finished, it's time to look at the sensors. The first one is the touch sensor. You can program it to say, oh, when you touch something, back up. Or when you touch something, turn, and we'll attach it onto our robot. So say I program it to, when it's touched, I want it to go backwards. So it would be on the robot and, oh, click, I touched. So now it's gonna go backwards.
Yeah, just pop it back in. And good.
Perfect. Good job, guys. Okay, so now we head over to the computers.
We're programming the Legos on a computer.
So now that we're finished building our robot, the next step is to program it so that when we turn it on and press the button, it will know what to do. The first thing that we're going to learn how to do is use the touch sensor. We come into this area that says sensors. Can anyone guess which button we're going to hit?
Touch sensor.
Touch sensor, good. Okay, so we bring it over here and we're going to tell it when we press it, we want it to do something. I want you to turn off. So you put the off button right under your touch sensor. So your first mini challenge will be to program your robot to hit a wall and stop.
I really enjoy the programming. I want to make it do some crazy things.
And the next thing we need to do is turn on the RCX, line it up with the IR tower, and then go to the purple download. If you guys want, you can try it on the table.
The robot is turning to the right a little bit more than we want it to because one gear is tilted more than the other, so we have to fix that.
Did it stop when it hit the wall?
Yes.
So you completed the task, right?
I'm pretty excited that it worked.
We got it down. We know how to program it, and so I'm looking forward to doing this again and again. I want to make it do like crazy things, like go back and then do like a 360 around and then do it again.
So did you guys have fun today?
I thought today was absolutely fantastic. If every day is this fun, this is going to be like a dream come true.
The practice robot gets put away, and it's time for the real thing. Next time, watch as we get our mission assignment and start preparing for the competition.
Okay, so today we're going to go online and download the challenge. Let's head over to the computer.
Today, I'm most looking forward to finding out what the challenge is going to be. I can't wait.
Now we're going to go on to the first Lego League website. And it looks like our mission will be about Mars.
Sort of things about Mars I'm looking forward to learning about is like the kind of rocks that are on it. I'm very interested in rocks.
Everything that you see on this sheet is the surface of Mars.
So all this orange is all the surface.
Right, this is all the surface of Mars. All of the Legos that we're going to put together are going to be different stations on the surface of Mars.
That's cool.
Okay, so our robot will be able to go through and do things that might be on the real Mars.
So far, for the challenges, it's a little bit unknown because I think when we put all of our pieces together, we'll find out a little bit more.
Cool. You have to be completely in the base when you start. And this right here is your base. Okay? Do you want to read off what the first challenge is?
Okay. The robot must lower the ramp and move completely off the platform and the ramp before the match of the mission attempt is ended.
So what we have to do is get the ramp to go down and then have the robot just like get off.
You have to get off it, and then you have to come completely back into base. And that right there is how many points?
That alone is worth 39 points. Launch the sample canister. So we have to launch it.
Okay, so
If there's nothing in it, it's only partial points.
you would have to come up with a way to get it in here and then launch it. You also have to do a research project on Mars and figure out a fun way to present the information to the judges at the competition. Why don't we choose a mission that we would like to do our research assignment about?
Out of one of these?
Yep. Read the title and everything.
The habitation modules are the houses where the astronauts would live when they arrived on Mars. Any habitation modules would need to be set up remotely using robots. What would this living space look like and how would it work? Where would the supplies come from? And how long would it keep humans alive and comfortable?
We probably have to do a lot of research on how it's possible to live there, like what kind of air you're using, that kind of stuff. But I think that's the challenge that really I like about it, is how to figure out what things you need to live on Mars.
Yeah, me too.
So far, I know very, very little about Mars, but I think as the challenge goes on and as we have to perform tasks with our robots, I'll learn more of what it's like in its environment and how it affects the robot and what we have to do with the robot.
Okay, so we're going to split up into 3 groups. Some people work on, starting programming, others will work on research, and others will work on building.
We need 2 motors, so we need 1.
Building robots is really fun though because the pieces are different colored, so they're really cool to put together and stuff. And the booklet, it gives you all the pieces you need and it shows you what they're supposed to end up like.
The programming is when you go on the computer and tell the robot to do something.
Wait, you think it should go forward and then bump the wall and then go backwards and then go again?
I think it should just go straight.
I don't know. I kind of agree with Francesca.
Because the gears like to clog up.
Right.
Oh yeah. How do we back up without the?
And then you do reverse direction.
Oh, you could use reverse direction. That's easier.
I really like researching a lot and like learning stuff and then relaying it back to everybody because I think that's kind of cool.
Francesco, is there water on Mars?
Yeah, they recently discovered ice.
Ice is water.
Let's go to Maya. Is there water on Mars?
No. There's no water on Mars.
NASA announces discovery of evidence of
Oh no,
water on Mars.
Kara.
Well, one thing that might take us back or maybe take a longer time to research about and we'll really have to think about is water supply and food supply.
So you guys, we built the robot, and this is what our first thing is that we're going to try to do. We're going to try to have it exit the base, turn, and then come back into the base right here. So it's turning.
Almost.
For people who didn't know much about Legos or a lot about Legos, we'll do pretty well.
So I think you guys did a really good job today.
Next time on the first LEGO League competition, we get our robot back in gear and learn about what it would take to live on Mars.
Kyle, do you want to talk about what we completed with the robot?
We managed to accomplish 1 mission with this robot here, and Francesca will show you that.
Yeah, that's better.
So there are many missions on this field, but because we're limited to 5 programs, we're probably not going to be able to do all of them. But now we have one of them completed, right?
39.
Okay.
Today we're working on the rotation sensor.
The rotation sensor measures the numbers of rotations that it reads to get from one place to another.
That's why it's called the rotation sensor, because it's counting the rotations of the wheel.
I'm having a little trouble with the turn, but I think I fixed it. And I'm just taking the reading on how long it gets to get from here to there.
Oh,
Okay.
So you ready? They're vacuum. You want to push the button?
Okay.
Yeah, it didn't work again.
We wanted to see like what was the problem with the wheels and why they were turning so like too much and they were going all different ways.
I'm telling you to wait until the rotation sensor senses 26, was it?
Yeah. Negative.
26. Negative. Oh, that's the problem.
Yeah.
Oh, so I didn't put a negative sign.
Okay, good thing we knew. So what happened was we forgot the negative sign and then the wheels went the wrong way.
All right, so that means it's downward.
We kind of pulled it together and said there's something wrong, we have to look for it. We didn't just assume that the robot was broken, so.
Okay, so we got really far with the robot. How about with the research?
For our presentation part of the project, we have to do like a bunch of research.
So we started with food. We can use dehydrated food packets,
Like powdered milk.
First, we listed what we would need, which would be like the essentials like food, and we need oxygen and stuff.
needs for a shelter, but it needs to be able to block UV rays. Needs heat and cooling devices. Needs to be able to store oxygen.
And I also found out that we need a way to put oxygen up there, so we're thinking about like oxygen machines that make oxygen, or putting plants to keep the oxygen in there, and that's kind of some of the stuff that I found out when researching.
Now this is what's gonna hold our ball, that when we stop, it'll roll down this.
We're trying to get the robot to bump into the launcher.
See, it falls out.
We're trying to get it to stop right before the launcher because then the plastic ball will fall off into the launcher.
It needs
I don't
a
know
motor.
how you would get it off when it crashes into here.
And then we're gonna bump into it, so it'll activate itself.
So the rotation sensor, we could take a reading of how many rotations it takes to get to right there.
Okay.
And then we could tell it to stop. So when it stops, the ball would roll off.
Right, so it doesn't
And then
have
we
to turn.
Yeah, and then we tell it to go back for
Yeah, if we just did this first.
like 0.5 seconds, and then we tell it to go back forward again.
Okay, good.
We're gonna do a presentation on the habitational module, and it's gonna be a play about a tour of a habitation module.
So you guys, we've decided to do the tour guide as our play for our presentation. So does anybody have any ideas on what to do?
One of the characters could be obviously the tour guide.
How about someone just from Earth? Someone who's like, yeah, someone who's just like, okay, this is really weird.
We need to think of what each character would say. Is it gonna be aliens and people that inhabit the habitation module? And it's gonna be really cool.
The fact that these Legos and robot and obstacles and all that Lego stuff is going to be in a competition, I think it adds a whole new layer of fun to the whole experience. Come on, robot!
Yeah.
Come on!
That's right.
Oh, yay!
Is that what's supposed to happen?
So that's 39 points. And then we knocked in a boulder into the circle. That was worth 14 points. And launching the sample canister with no ball in it is worth 27 points. So we already are at 80 points.
I'm kind of nervous about the competition because I know it's gonna be pretty hard. I mean, I know a lot of the kids and us too we're really pumped. So I'm just gonna try to be the best sport that I can. We have a great team, so I'm feeling really pretty good and in shape about the competition.
Good job, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Next time on the first LEGO League competition, it's the countdown to the big day. Watch as we make our final preparations for the state competition.
Now, Maya, can you tell us about the bridge program?
We were still having trouble getting the robot to exit the tetrahedron base with the ramp permanently down.
We figured out that all we really had to do was first start by making it knock it down, then coming back and going kind of crazy right off into the base.
In the rules, it doesn't say you can do that. It doesn't say you can drive right off.
It doesn't say you can't.
Good. Okay, so it doesn't say we can't do it, so we built it into our strategy, right? Kyle, do you want to start talking about this mission right here and what we did?
Okay, so we knew that before we can make our robot go without a ball and launch this, but yesterday I thought that we could make a claw so that it could hold the ball and drop the ball in and launch it and come back. Woo! So here's what the robot does.
I
That's all right. Try it one more time.
I'm kind of nervous that we might forget things, or we might not even get our programs to work by the end of the day.
Go, Bali.
So Mike, do you want to show us the other mission?
We're gonna have the robot push the habitation module down until it connects with the other habitation module down there. And then it's gonna turn and push the rover off onto the course. And then again, it's gonna turn and go into the craters. Come on, come on.
Almost.
Maybe it'll hit the rover.
Yeah, it needs another arm. Nope. But other than that, it would have done good.
Go rover.
Shane, do you want to talk a little about the play?
We figured out like an end for the play, and we also wrote down a lot of the scripts, and then we got a lot of information in it. Working on the play, it's been really fun because the whole group has been brainstorming, and we just pretty much write down ideas of lines or whatever. What's next on the script?
Next up, we decided we were going to talk about the solar panels.
We could easily say, we also put plants in the aquarium. The water's recycled, blah, 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 all like that.
Reliability in your robot is very, very, very important. You need to really know that your robot can perform a task without failing over and over again.
Wrong way. It turned the wrong way.
So Maya, what do we need to fix?
We need to make it turn the other way
And how are we going to do that?
by making motor C go that way.
Let's go through it. What are we doing here?
Waiting until it gets 7 rotations, and then we're telling it to go off.
So we're going to go back and stop.
Yeah!
Okay.
Move it along, people, move it along.
Our play is pretty much about a tour guide, and the rest of us are all like on the tour.
And to my right, we have an actual habitation module.
It's a tour of Mars.
The plants are watered and their oxygen byproducts are used.
And it kind of like explains the habitational module, and it's really cool.
We rehydrate our food and drinks with water.
This is how a real competition will work. I'll be the ref. 3, 2, 1, let go.
Okay.
All right, that's right, it was in base.
All right, go. Make sure it's lined up for just.
When it starts,
go.
When it starts, it's gonna go.
Careful, careful, Mike. 130.
Come on, you guys, we can do it, we can do it! Yeah!
Okay, how much for ending in the crater?
39.
Okay, how much for the rover on his wheels?
31. You have 169.
Good job!
Guys, that's what I call team death.
I can't wait because it seems like we got everything just in time.
That's what I call team.
Next time on Zoom, it's the big day. Find out how we do competing against 41 other teams at the first LEGO League Finals.
Get ready for Lego! I would like to introduce all of these hard-working champion teams. Team number 63, Mindstorms Mayhem. Team number 1101, Zoom.
I think the best part about competing right now is that there's so much suspense and the crowd's cheering so loudly, so you just feel really in the moment and you're having tons of fun.
I'm a little bit nervous.
I did it!
But I know our team's gonna do really well.
So what's going to happen today is we're going to play a total of 3 matches. And they're going to look at your best score. And that score is going to be ranked against all the other teams that are here. And then the teams with the top 8 scores are going to go into the elimination rounds.
It's the same program we had before that launches the ball, but this time it goes over and it spins and clears the solar panel. One of the reasons I think that our design is so effective is because it's simple. It's very basic, but it gets the job done.
Please welcome the table number 1, Zoom! 2, 1, go! Zoom heads down to the base, going toward the ice cores. Zoom gets 2 ice cores. The robot turns around, heads back to base. They grab the robot and bring it back to base. Zoom! successfully launches their sample canister and knocks the dust off their solar panel.
45 seconds.
It's good?
And Zoom gets another habitation module hooked up and knocks the rover off the sand dune. And Zoom's robot gets in the crater with 30 seconds left. They are mission accomplished.
Because we just got like everything that is definitely the best we've done, and it's so exciting!
Remember, there's 42 teams here.
We're like not doing.
We're fifth.
You guys.
We're fifth out of 42.
After we saw how well we did on the first one, we always want to do better. So we thought of the one thing that we haven't done, which was the Alliance Habitation Module. We found out who was our next group that we were going to go against.
Do you guys connect the habitation module?
No.
Would you want to try it?
We talked with them and we strategized, and we both had straight programs so that we could just run them into the Habitation Module Alliance and they would connect, and that would be like an extra 41 points for us.
Please welcome on table number 1, Zoom! And on table number 2, a big round of applause for the Munchkin! 2, 1, go!
We got this, you guys.
Both teams successfully closed the Alliance Bridge.
Let's go! 50 seconds, guys. You're doing good.
Oh, is that?
5 seconds left. 3, 2, 1.
Why didn't... One of our missions was to knock the rover off the dune, but somehow it rolled off on its own.
You guys did a great job.
The judges decided to not count the rover, so we don't get the points for that. I'm a little bit upset because we could have done really well, but you know, that's just the way it goes. And I don't know why it rolled off, but it happened.
Okay, so we were fifth before, but now we're number 11. Our last match was 244 points. Nice job. Wait, we still have one more match to see do the best that we can, and they're going to take our highest match, and that's what counts.
All right.
Scene 2, 2 scientists and a robot hard at work, interrupted by a tour of humans visiting the planet Mars.
I think our research presentation went really well.
The plants will be watered and will use their oxygen byproducts. We'll also have an oxygen generator, which will produce 23 cubic feet of oxygen per hour.
It looked like the judges were really enjoying it. Now moving along, our next stop is the next planet in the solar system, Jupiter.
Go! Zoom leaves the base, heads to the ice cores. They knock down 2 ice cores. The robot turns and tries to get back to base, but gets stuck. Zoom drops their sample canister, but it doesn't get launched. Zoom knocks all the dust off their solar panel. Zoom brings the habitat module out. Zoom knocks their rover off the dune, and Zoom goes into the crater for mission accomplished with 35 seconds left.
I'll take a look at this, make sure I scored you correctly here.
Yep.
You agree? Okay. Thanks, guys. Good job.
Thank you.
We just finished the 3rd round, and I'm a little bit disappointed because when we went for the ice cores, we were a little off aim, so we knocked them down instead of picking them up. And when we tried to launch the ball, we launched it too early, and the ball didn't have enough time to roll into the launcher. But we got everything else, and I like that.
Over 40 teams and you're 12. Okay, so since we're not in the top 8, we won't be advancing. But you guys did such a great job today.
After I found out that our team hadn't gotten to the finals, I mean, I can't lie by saying that I was happy, but I wasn't totally disappointed because I knew that we had tried our hardest.
Nice job, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the afternoon's award ceremonies.
First place for this year's Director's Award goes to Team 53, Mindstorm Mayhem.
First LEGO League, I'd like to present the award to the team that best demonstrates extraordinary enthusiasm and spirit, exceptional partnership, and the utmost respect to its own teammates and to its support and encouragement of fellow teams. The team that won tonight, first place, was Team 1101, Zoom.
The Zoom team won the Teamwork Award because we're such a great team. We're like brothers and sisters. We always listen to each other, and we listen to each other carefully and really think about what each other has to say.
I enjoyed doing Lego robotic kind of things that had science and math, and you actually had to think it, like critical thinking. And that's what I learned about myself, that I actually liked that.
I had a lot of fun doing this whole competition, and this day was the highlight of my whole experience.